Let's talk about AI music, but properly, because the way this is being talked about online right now is honestly very misleading. Everywhere you look, people are saying you can generate songs with AI, upload them to Spotify, and make passive income. And technically, yes, that part is true. There are already people making money from AI generated music. Some tracks have millions of streams, and some channels built entirely around AI music are growing fast. But honestly, the way people explain it makes it sound much easier than it actually is. First of all, this is not one of those things where you upload a song and you suddenly start making money while you sleep. That has never been how music works. Nothing works like that. AI did not magically remove competition, and it definitely didn't remove the need for consistency. What AI changed is the barrier to entry. Before tools like Suno existed, you needed production skills, you needed software, you needed plugins, and a lot of time just to make one decent track. Now you can generate music in minutes, and that part is real. But when something becomes easier to create, more people start doing it. And that creates a new problem, which is, of course, saturation. That's exactly what's happening right now with AI music. Most of it sounds the same structure, same style, same type of emotional background music. You can scroll through YouTube or Spotify and hear endless tracks that all blend together. So the real challenge is no longer, can I make music? The challenge is, can I create something people will actually keep listening to? All right, so that's the difference. So at a high level, the model itself is simple. You use a tool like Suno to generate tracks. You upload those tracks to streaming platforms through a distributor, for example, Spotify, and then you use content platforms like YouTube to bring in listeners. That's basically the entire system. The simplicity is what attracts people to it, but simple doesn't mean easy. All right? Most people confuse those two things. The money comes from streams. Every time someone listens to your music, you get paid a very small amount. And this is where beginners immediately think about viral songs or massive hits, but that's actually the wrong way to look at it. Streaming platforms reward consistency and listening time much more than they reward one lucky moment. You don't need one huge song. What you need is a catalog. And that's the part most people miss. So instead of thinking, how do I make one perfect track? You should think, how do I build a library of music people continuously listen to? Every song becomes another asset. Every upload becomes another chance to get discovered. And over time, those streams stack. Individually, one song might do almost nothing, but dozens of songs together can start creating meaningful traffic. And this is why certain genres work much better than others for AI music. Things like lo-fi or ambient music, focus music, production music, meditation tracks, those sleep sounds or relaxing instrumentals. These are all categories where people listen for long periods of time. They don't listen once and move on. They put the music on while they're studying, while they're working, relaxing, or even sleeping. And that's exactly what you want, because streaming income depends on total listening time and repeat listeners. So if you're trying to make emotional pop songs with AI and hoping people become fans overnight, that's probably going to be much harder. But background music is different because people care more about the mood and consistency than the artist behind it. A lot of listeners don't even know who made the track. They just want something playing in the background. That's it nowadays. Now, let's talk about the actual creation process, because this is where AI really changes things. With tools like Suno, you can generate full songs very quickly. You just head over to the home page. You go to here, to home, or you can just quickly go to here to create, but there's this prompt box here on the home page, and you just describe what you want to hear or see. You can also choose the instruments, the vocals, or even generate lyrics automatically. You no longer need years of production knowledge just to get started. That lowers the entry barrier massively. But again, this creates more competition. If everyone can make songs easily, then quantity alone is not enough anymore. You need some type of direction or strategy behind what you're creating. The people making money with this are not uploading random songs. They usually focus on one type of music, one mood, and one audience. Their catalog feels consistent. And consistency matters a lot more than people realize. Most beginners create 1 or 2 tracks, they upload them, and then they wait. When nothing happens after a week or 2, well, they quit. But this model only works if you think in batches. You sit down and you create 10 tracks, then another 10, then another. You build momentum slowly, and that is how streaming libraries grow. Once your music is ready, you need distribution. This is another part that beginners often skip over when they talk about AI music. You can't just upload directly to Spotify yourself. You need a distributor. Services like distrokid or tunecore, CD Baby, they basically send your music to Spotify, to Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms. They also track streams and they handle royalties. You have to pay for them. DistroKid is maybe the best one because you just pay $25 per year and they're gonna, upload all you have to all of these platforms that you want to use. And that's the good news. These services are beginner friendly and they're relatively cheap. Usually you pay around $20 to $30 per year. So the upfront cost is low compared to traditional music production. But it's still important to understand that this is not completely free. Some people online make it sound like you can do everything with zero investment. That's not true. Realistically, there will still be some costs involved if you want to do it properly. Now, here's where most people fail again. They upload music and they do nothing after that. They assume Spotify will somehow magically push their songs. That almost never happens. Spotify is, Spotify. Uploading alone is not enough. You need traffic. And this is where YouTube becomes extremely important. YouTube is not just another platform for music. It's a discovery engine. This is where you can actually bring people into your ecosystem. Instead of uploading short clips, you create longer videos. 1 hour of lo-fi music, study music compilations, or some relaxing background playlists. Things people actively search for every day. And this works because the same piece of content gets reused many times. One track can live on Spotify, on Apple Music, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at the same time, and that's leverage. You're not constantly creating completely new content for every platform. You are repurposing the same music across different ecosystems. That's really good for us. Over time, if your YouTube channel grows, you also unlock another income stream. Now you can potentially earn from YouTube ads and streaming royalties at the same time. But again, this is not fast. Most people underestimate how long this takes. You might upload dozens of tracks before seeing meaningful numbers. That's just normal. That's how it works. That's how anything online works. It takes time. And honestly, this is why most people fail with AI music. Not because the model doesn't work, but because they expect results too quickly. They see one TikTok saying, make passive income with AI songs, and then they just upload 2 tracks and then they quit when nothing happens after a month. But this is a compounding model. YouTube as well. The value comes from consistency over time. And, it is going to be hard sometimes. And there are already examples of AI-generated projects getting millions of streams. Entire AI-generated bands exist now. Some listeners don't even realize the music was created with AI. And that alone tells you something important. Most listeners don't care how the music was made. They care whether it sounds good enough to keep playing in the background, right? We don't notice that much nowadays, and this means the opportunity is real, but the opportunity is not in shortcuts. It's in execution. The barrier to entry is gone, but the effort is still there. AI removed the technical difficulty, not the work itself. You still need to upload consistently. You still need to organize your catalog. You still need to drive traffic and build systems around it. That's work. So, if you want to approach AI music realistically, treat it like a long-term project instead of a quick win. Focus on building a catalog instead of chasing one viral song. Focus on genres people actually listen to for hours, and use YouTube as a traffic source, not just Spotify alone. And most importantly, understand that this is a slow grind, not overnight money, because that's the real difference between people who experiment with AI music for a week and quit and people who actually build something from it over time. I wish you good luck, and I'll catch you on the next one.